Yeah, it was unreal, just to be in that environment, just to be in a hostile environment with all the fans, and just to see it come down to like to the wire, to a field goal, and then Josh scoring a touchdown was awesome. Just to see him work so hard, throughout the week, and seeing our defense fight, having composure and just resilience was awesome.
Yeah, Kirby was talking about you're taking on kind of three different roles throughout the week. What does your kind of week of preparation look like, and how do you translate that to whatever roles you're called to fill on Saturdays?
Yeah, just a lot of film, and just seeing what I need to do in every position. Um, just focus on my detail and just doing my job.
Yeah, during that game where Tennessee they scored first three drives they had, what was sort of the messaging to the defense in terms of keeping you guys in it and the adjustments you guys were able to make on Saturday?
I'm just staying calm. Like we've been in that. We kind of had like adversity before, so just staying calm and just seeing seeing what we could do better. On film. On the sidelines, and making our adjustments and going back on the field and competing.
Chris, especially with how that game played out on Saturday, how valuable do you feel like this bye week can be for the defense, just with what you guys want to focus on and what you guys want to improve before next week?
It's definitely a great week to get better as a team. Just to watch film and like see what we could have done better, and just to go back to the basics and just to go back to what we've been doing and just get better as a team.
What was kind of the feeling on the sideline, especially just the way that game started, and then just kind of how you guys had to finish it. I mean, what were some of the things that was being said on the sideline? What you guys feel as a defense late in that game?
Yeah, that game there's a lot of ups and downs. Like the Tennessee offense, like they start off fast, and they have a high tempo offense. They snap the ball in 8 seconds. So just to stay calm and just after the first drive when they scored, just going back to the sideline, like I said, and just doing our adjustments and just going back on the field and just showing what Georgia's defense could do.
Chris, if you look at the players on this defense that have sacks, it's you, it's Raylan, and it's CJ. What is it about you guys at inside linebacker that you think has allowed you guys to be that successful at getting after the quarterback?
I say our fire, passion, and energy. Every day, every week. It starts on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, just to have our preparation, and it shows on Saturdays. So just to see us do that, it's nothing surprising because throughout the week we're just working hard.
Yeah, in the third quarter of that game, Lenny Wilson had a pretty big hit on Joey Aguilar. I don't know if you got a chance to watch it after the
Mhm.
fact, but in the moment, what kind of impact does a big hit like that have on the defense?
Yeah, I seen it right in front of me. I was actually on the sideline. It was, I think, second down. We was about to sub it to Nickel Rabbits, and I seen it and I heard it. It was crazy, man. I was so excited for Raylan, and I got me pumped. I was ready to get back on the field, and I wanted to hit somebody too after that.
Yeah, for you personally, you've kind of been rushing off the edge in some of these third down packages. For you, where do you feel like you've grown the most specifically with your pass rush skill set as you've had to use it more and more?
I feel like I've grown a lot. Coming from not rushing off the edge, just playing safety, playing linebacker. Now I play the edge, just getting better at that. Setting the edge, working my hands, just getting better at that.
So it was like a really physical game, and after you guys hold them to a field goal in overtime, you're feeling like it's a long game. What was the confidence level like when you guys were coming off the field, knowing that you had like prevented them from scoring?
Yeah, like we felt good. Just to get three and out on defense is great. And on the sideline before we went out, we said we need to get three and out or a takeaway, and that's always the standard on the defense. So just to be able to get that and stop them and hold them to a field goal was good for our offense.
Chris, you were talking about you guys will look at what you can do to get better. In terms of giving up explosives, Tennessee had a lot this past game in the passing game. What do you think the defense needs to work on to minimize that?
Just need to work on just working as a team. Like just doing our job, and it starts as a team. It's not only our secondary, but it starts as the whole defense. Like getting more pressure on the QB before he doesn't have time just to sit in the pocket and be able to make those throws.
Chris, after the game, the teammates asked about Gunner. Everyone's calling him a dog for the way he
Yeah.
kind of goes about his business and everything. Obviously, once you're a player, I'm sure you always would hope your quarterback would be that way, but
Mhm.
when he is, what's the impact and effect you think that can have? Does that have on the entire team? As you kind of move forward in the
Mhm.
season?
Yeah, it definitely has a great effect on the team. Everyone says, he's a dog, and you can see it throughout the film. just to see him work so hard throughout the week and he's so unfazed when he has so much like adversity. You know, playing a QB is a hard position. So just to see him go into that environment as the starting QB and just to be able to, you know, get the job done was awesome.
Chris, a few minutes ago, Coach Smart was talking about the outside linebacker room and just what they've brought. What do you see from that room at practice every day and just what they bring to this defense?
Being physical, flying to the ball, showing 100% effort in everything they do, closing on the counter. You know, our goal was to stop the run, and you know they help us do that a lot. Especially Chris Jones, I seen him work so hard. You know, during the off season, seeing him doing all types of training, and seeing him do everything in the off season to show what he's doing now is awesome.
Yeah, you guys get a big win like that. What was the mood, the atmosphere like in the locker room afterwards, and then on the plane ride back for you guys?
We felt good. You know, just to get that type of win. You know, the SEC is is a hard place to play, and you know that being our first opponent, and that type of game was awesome. So we felt good. You know, we was, you know, having fun in the locker room, on the plane, talking about it, and just having a great time.
Obviously, you gotta get a bye week, just having 2 weeks and knowing that Alabama's on the other end of that. Is there any extra juice or any extra, excitement about that going to it?
Definitely is. You know, it's another game to get better and being able to compete in front of, you know, the big show. You know, but just doing our job, keep working this off season. This bye week, and just keep working.
Yeah, we saw Janelle make the interception, had some big hits as well. Just what does he mean to this defense and what he provides for you guys?
He means a lot to this defense. You know, seeing him work every single day and just to see, you know, the way he carries himself, you know, off the field and on the field, it wasn't something surprising to me. I seen him make them plays in practice, so just to him make it in game, you know, was a great thing.
When you hear Georgia, Alabama, they've had some epic games between the programs in the last 7, 8 years, whatever. What do you think of when you think about those programs going up against each other?
I think it's always a great game. You know, from the past years, it's always been a great like rivalry. You know, always great games. You know, the SEC championships, you know, national championships. So just another game and to get better at.